And just like that, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ango Show. It is March 7th, 2025. My name is Ango, and I'm joined by Billy TKO. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok, and X, and this and that, and whatever. We're everywhere. So if you guys are watching, make sure you guys share. Make sure you guys click like, do all that good stuff. Today, we are talking AEW Revolution. I know I can't believe it either, but we're going to do it. We're going to talk about the pay-per-view. There's 3 matches specifically that I'm very interested in watching. And that's the reason why I'm spending $50 to watch the pay-per-view. I'll tell you guys what matches those are. Maybe Billy has a little bit of a different opinion. I don't know. We'll see. But by the end of the stream, we'll have our predictions made. And with that being said, if you guys want to support the stream, go ahead and consider dropping a super chat. It helps drive the conversation forward. And on top of that, I want to hear your guys' predictions. I want to hear your guys' fantasy bookings. So your super chats are guaranteed to be read on the stream. Shout out to Justin Kennington, Todd Crow, and Kevin Schiffman. I see you guys in the chat. Those are some of our valuable members. Billy TKO.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, right.
How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Tired as hell.
I could tell.
Yeah, just tired.
We talked about it a little off stream. This man's exhausted.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, that's all right.
Always working and always not sleeping and whatever, but it's okay. It's okay.
It happens. It happens.
I might yawn a couple times and,
just a little tired. Nothing too much.
Nothing too much. Exactly.
But yeah, AEW.
It is interesting. Revolution is finally here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
What's your thoughts going into it, right?
I'm excited. I'm excited for the show. It doesn't feel like a normal. Okay, here's the thing. Like, the card isn't so stacked. Like how a normal AEW pay-per-view would be. I think they only have one match on 0 hour.
I'm sure that'll change with Collision.
Yeah, we'll find out. Regardless of the fact, right now, with the prediction show, it does not feel as stacked as normal, which means maybe I won't be so tired by the time it's over.
Yeah.
That's a hope.
I think we'll see what they add to 0 hour, because that's how they are as a company. They always do the late editions, right. Usually on Collision. They'll announce it. But I do think it's an interesting card. As of right now, I think there's 10 matches? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches. So by Collision, I'm sure there'll be like 2 more announced.
So you think 12 in total?
Yeah, 12 or 13. That's my guess. Obviously we're talking about AEW Revolution.
Yeah.
And it's tough for me. As I've said, it's tough for me to get excited about this pay-per-view. There's only 3 matches I genuinely care about. But those 3 matches are going to be the matches that I think we're going to be putting those in conversations for match of the year type stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So obviously that's kind of, how I feel about it. So 3 matches.
Can I guess the 3 matches?
No.
I can't guess what 3 matches they are?
All right, you can guess. Go ahead.
Can I? All right. So I'm going to say Mercedes Moné and Momo Watanabe. Right?
No.
Okay. How about the Hurt Syndicate versus the Outrunners?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So you're not excited for Big Boom AJ, Orange Cassidy, and Mark Briscoe and Eminem Collection?
No. Not.
Because Big Boom AJ for sure match of the year.
Yeah, no.
Crazy, insane.
Yeah, no. Nice try. Good guesses. No.
Damn. Really?
Yeah, not even close. The 3 matches I care about most: Konosuke Takeshita, Kenny Omega, Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay, the Steel Cage match, and MJF versus Hangman Page.
Okay.
And all 3 of those have potential to be match of the year.
Yes.
So Tony Khan can thank those 3 matches as to why he's getting my $50.
That's That's fair.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, as much as I love Swerve Strickland, I really don't care about Swerve and Ricochet. I definitely don't care about Okada versus Brody King. I don't care about Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe. I don't care about Tony Storm and Mariah May. And as many people could guess, I do not give a shit about Cope versus John Moxley. So
Yeah.
But those three matches are the reason why AEW is getting my $50.
I'm actually excited for Moxley and Cope.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm excited because hopefully they get the belt off Moxley.
Yeah. So they could put it on a rising up and coming star like Cope.
Bro, chill out. They gotta get to a point.
Brother, AEW fans literally bitch and complain about WWE pushing old people like John Cena on The Rock. And then we got Cope on the main event.
It's a fair argument.
Yeah, I know it's a fair argument. Come on, buddy.
It's fair. I won't argue it too much.
So let's get into our predictions, shall we?
Yeah, come on, let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the predictions. And we're going to start off with 0 Hour, Orange Cassidy, Big Boom AJ, and Mark Briscoe versus Johnny TV and MXM Collection.
I just want you to know that this stream gets 5 big booms.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah,
Boom.
five big
Boom.
booms.
6, 7. Dave Meltzer, if he changes star scale to booms.
Yeah, bro. Eating.
Yeah.
That's going to be my rating scale.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, by the way? What's your thoughts on Big Boom AJ being on there, by the way?
I mean, it's entertaining, right?
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious. I mean, you've seen his match. What was it at Full Gear?
Yeah, with QT Marshall.
Wasn't bad.
No, I like him.
Yeah.
I'm supportive of him.
Yeah, count me in. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm supportive of the celebrities in wrestling thing. I know I get scolded for that, but
even prior to, he was a pro wrestler before he was a celebrity.
Yeah, but come on, 20 years ago. Didn't make it. But I mean, they're viral, bro. So they go viral, and the thing is, people share the clips, and at the end of the day, every time somebody was posting the John Cena heel turn, obviously Travis Scott is bigger than these guys. Let's not get it twisted.
For sure.
But every time somebody is sharing the John Cena clip or whatever, you got people who don't watch wrestling and they're like, oh, Travis Scott, John Cena on The Rock, right? Yeah. So it's like there is an advantage to having these celebrities come in,
for sure,
kind of jump in and getting involved and doing things. And obviously we're in the digital media age, the social media age, where everything is getting clipped and posted and reshared and stuff like that. So Big Boom AJ obviously being in this match will definitely help, and it's free, right?
Yeah.
But what a fall from grace for Orange Cassidy. And that's really my big complaint here. Like,
especially having the 2 world title matches.
To wrestling Johnny TV and MXM Collection on 0 Hour.
Yeah, it's not. That's not really that good of a look, I don't think.
That is very, 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 very strange decision making. And I feel bad for Orange Cassidy. I mean, I'm not even the biggest Orange Cassidy fan in the world, but he got over organically to the point where I became a fan of Orange Cassidy. So how can you make me care about Orange Cassidy when you do this? You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, that's how I look at it. Right?
Yeah, it's true.
And we'll see. Like, I really like Mark Briscoe.
Love Mark Briscoe.
The baby faces win here.
They have to, yeah. I mean,
Mark Briscoe's awesome. Orange Cassidy became awesome, and Big Boom AJ, like, obviously being the celebrity who can take bumps and actually wrestle. So, it's interesting though to see that Orange Cassidy's been relegated to this.
The 0 Hour.
Yeah.
It is interesting. It is. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of it, but I do like the idea of Big Boom AJ. I think that, I mean, if you want to sell your pay-per-view, that guy is probably a good way to open up the show.
I don't know if I don't know if he's going to sell them pay-per-views, but
it's not about it's getting eyes on the product.
And I think through
add
TikTok
intrigue.
and Instagram
Yeah.
and the clips and stuff, that's going to
Yeah.
happen. I don't think putting them will be like, oh, well, now I got to buy it, right?
Right.
Because you're asking for $50. But I do think having him on there is advantageous because, hey, TikTok and Instagram and stuff. And we saw last time with QT Marshall, everything was getting clipped. And then when it actually came out that he broke his foot before the match, and then that even got clipped more because they're like, oh, Big Boom AJ wrestling on a broken foot, right? So
Yeah.
that's obviously something to keep in mind. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this.
No, it's a very simple, straightforward.
I love MXM, bro, and I want to see them as part of big part of the tag team division. Obviously, we haven't gotten that, so I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, give me Big Boom, Orange Cassidy, and Mark Briscoe.
Cool. Next match I have is no way. I'm so sad, bro. I'm sad. I'm not gonna lie. Okada versus Brody King.
I mean, they're not going to. I'd give it to Brody King, but Okada's gonna win. Yeah. I don't know. There's something about Okada holding that belt for as long as he has, and I forget that belt sometime is a thing.
Yeah,
to be quite honest. And I'm gonna call AEW out here a little bit and be like, that's something that you need to fix. If I'm sitting here forgetting that you have a title that is supposed to be important, maybe, just maybe, you should do something with that title to make it feel said important.
Yeah.
But I mean, Okada's going to win. And I get it because, the match that Okada just had with Buddy. That grand scam, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me give you my quick insight really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okada's not dropping the belt to Brody King. So that's why this match is pointless because we know it's not happening. Okada's not dropping the belt to Brody King. And really, this is going to be a chance for Brody King to have a nice little singles match on pay-per-view. They're probably going to have a great match. I'm not going to doubt them, inside in the ring or whatever. Like, they're both really good wrestlers.
Yeah.
But the Continental Championship means absolutely nothing in AEW. So I can't be invested in this. Also, to be quite frank, Okada, the legendary Okada that we saw in New Japan, this is not him. So I personally have a very hard time being excited about this Okada match. I will tell you later on in this live stream which match will be exciting to watch. But my prediction is very simple. Okada beats Brody King. Brody King will look good. They're going to make it look like Brody King might even win, but he won't. Okada's going to win. And this is a very, very safe prediction.
Yeah. Easy enough.
We did get a super chat from Andre Benson for $5. He says, I'll be honest, Elimination Chamber took my excitement of Revolution away. I'm still going to watch. I'm not going to pay $50. I got a Fire Stick. So, okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, as far as Revolution and Elimination Chamber, I do think this is a real thing that happens in professional wrestling when you get one really, really, really good event and you're excited about it. I do think sometimes it does take away excitement from other shows. I've seen that with AEW where, AEW would kind of have like Labor Day weekend or whatever. And then NXT was there. Like, there would be some really cool things in NXT, but then fucking AEW has their pay-per-view that just blows it out of the water, right?
That's just wrestling overload.
Yeah, it is. So I do think, like, to a certain extent, Elimination Chamber did actually take a little bit of excitement away from Revolution. And then also, to the thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the media call with Tony Khan yesterday, where he was kind of asked, like, hey, like, you see things like John Cena turning heel. Are you guys going to do any big surprises, that kind of thing? And Tony Khan's like, oh, we're just on a good streak of shows. And, like, we're going to keep doing what we do and keep telling the stories and blah, blah. But the thing is, like, you do compete with that. When WWE continues to shock the world or pull off these major, massive moments, AEW is impacted by that because the talking point is not AEW, it is WWE. So I do understand Andre's super chat. What I will say, though, is AEW fans who love AEW aren't impacted by that. So it's the people that watch everything that would be impacted by that.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. Shout out to Andre Benson for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. The next match we're going to talk about is Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet. And this is for the #1 contendership for the AEW World Championship. Go off, King.
AEW have to play hot potato with the belt here. And I think it'll end up on potentially Swerve Strickland. I think they seen that Swerve was a really good champion, and he is the person that can hold that belt down until you put it on somebody like Hangman.
Yeah.
So I think AEW, if they're smart, they have Swerve win here,
Mm-hmm.
and then challenge whoever ends up with the title at the end of the show. That is my thought process.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. Then that makes sense. That's fairly logical.
Yeah.
So then what's your argument for Ricochet? Can't get the WWE World Championship and then AEW putting a ceiling on him?
No. Is it necessarily? I mean, he hasn't been in the company that long or long enough to say that he's getting slapped on and has a ceiling. If he's on weekly television and they find out how to put him in another storyline, because ultimately you could have Ricochet win this too if you want to, and you could have Nana turn.
So Prince Nana joins Ricochet.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Ricochet can't cut a promo, so Prince Nana
wouldn't be bad to have over there.
No, Prince Nana next to Paul Heyman. I'm not comparing them, but I'm saying next to Paul Heyman, those are my two favorite managers in professional wrestling right now.
So I think, if you want to fix the problem of Ricochet not being good on the mic, but being a great wrestler, you could do something like that and have Nana turn. I wouldn't hate that.
I don't foresee whoever wins this match winning the world championship.
That's fair.
Which is why I don't like the #1 contenders thing. So, who are you picking?
I'm picking Swerve out of comfort.
Yeah.
But if AEW really wants to swerve me, I think, no pun intended, you could have Ricochet win.
Yeah. I'm picking Swerve because the right choice is that Swerve is a fan favorite. And when Swerve was champion, AEW was relatively better than what it is now.
Yeah.
And
at least in the world title picture.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's like I've been saying this for a while, but MJF, Hangman, Jay White, Swerve, like, maybe eventually Adam Cole when he kind of rebounds a little bit. But that should be like your world championship picture right now, not Cope and Christian and John Moxley or whatever.
Cope and Christian can be a match by itself without the title if you really just want that match to happen in your company. Like you could do that without the world title. Yeah.
So that's why though it's like a weird situation. I don't know. But I will say this. I think Swerve is the safe choice. I think Swerve should win. I just think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to have to cope with the fact that Ricochet is not really world championship material. And I don't mean that like as like a personal jab to Ricochet. I just think when you look at the numbers and you look at what's happening with AEW, this company has to rebound. And if you really want a strong world champion, you got to go with somebody who has been a champion before in AEW who had a great run. So like Swerve Strickland, for example, had a great run. Samoa Joe, when he kind of AEW had to press that reset button and then they brought him Samoa Joe as the champion. Like that was really good stuff.
It was.
So you have to do something here. You can't really take the risk or gamble on somebody right now. They're not in a situation where they can, to be honest. Yeah. And I think that's one of the issues with AEW is they have to play it safe. They can't be risky.
You have to be smart.
Even if Prince Nana turn on Swerve and join Ricochet, I don't think people are under the belief just yet that they're convinced that Ricochet could be the world champion. And I think that's a really tough thing to do. To be fair, we watched Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Nobody expected Io Sky to beat Rhea Ripley. But the reason why people aren't disappointed in that is because they've shown us that Io Sky could be a world champion.
Right, exactly.
Because she's done it, right?
Exactly.
So that's kind of the sink or swim situation here with AEW is do you play the risk and do the shock factor or do you go and play it safe? I think you have to play it safe right now. and you have to press that reset button. And the best way to do that is by playing it safe. And then once you kind of get back on track, that's when you could be a little bit more riskier.
I agree.
I am picking Swerve Strickland. However, we will have to talk a little bit about the summer of AEW, and I'll tell you kind of why I'm picking them later on.
Yeah, that's right.
The next match we have is MJF versus Hangman Adam Page. As of now, I don't believe there's a stipulation on this match.
No.
There is some rumors that maybe they'll do an Inferno match. I don't think that's going to be the case, but that is a rumor.
That'd be fire.
It'd be really dope considering their build. Absolutely love this build. It's absolutely a great singles match. As I've said on previous shows, this should be a world championship title match for AEW, not the bullshit that we're getting. This is the one match on the card I can genuinely tell you I do not know how to predict. I am under the belief that both guys should be walking out as a winner.
Right.
And if they aren't doing a stipulation, honestly, bro, this is going to be fucking insane to say because I don't like when AEW does it. I don't feel like they've done it I don't think they've done this in a good manner in the past, but I would suggest that MJF and Hangman Page go to a time limit draw.
Yeah.
And that is my prediction, that they go to a time limit draw, but there is a reason for that.
So my thought process is that me personally, just with where I see AEW going, I definitely think that Hangman should pick up the victory here. Just because I think Hangman is the person who's going to like we talk about Swerve and stuff like that and the things that Swerve did as a champion and how great he was. And you have to think about when Swerve got there, Hangman really helped Swerve's character and who Swerve was. And now, here we are again with Hangman just really holding it down. I think AEW, if they're smart, if they play their cards correctly, the best thing that you can do is have Hangman walk out of this match with a victory. And you could do something along the line of, MJF doing his whole, heel shtick and being a piece of shit and, trying to cop out and whatnot, and that ultimately costing him. I think that would be the comfort here. I understand what you're saying along the lines of like, oh yeah, it would be great at the time limit draw because both guys really shouldn't lose.
Yeah.
But to make it logical and to make it make sense and to talk about again, like the summer of AEW, like you spoke about for a second, and where they're going all in is in August, or July, excuse me, is in July, and they need to have a destination for some of these guys. And I think Hangman is the destination for the world championship. So I feel like him winning here is going to be very important, especially after the Christopher Daniels thing. You know what I mean? Just a lot of anger inside of Hangman right now. So my prediction's Hangman.
It's interesting. And as we get to the world title match, I'll tell you guys why this should be a time limit draw.
Yeah.
The next match that we have is the Hurt Syndicate versus the Outrunners, AEW World Tag Team Championships. This is very easy for me to predict. Yeah. The Hurt Syndicate will retain.
Yep.
However, I think the Outrunners are going to shock the world and almost win. However, I think this is when we see the debut of the new member for the Hurt Syndicate. So,
you know who it is.
I'm not saying names because I don't know who it's going to be, but I think they're going to stand tall. And this new group, it'll be MVP, Shelton, Bobby. We'll see who they make the new member. But I do believe there is going to be a new member revealed with them. And whether that's Cedric Alexander coming in, I don't know. But I think something happens here.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately for the Outrunners, they are a team who
have gotten really hot.
And then they kind of cool off again.
Yeah, that's kind of, sadly, that's kind of the running situation with some of these tag teams in AEW.
Yeah.
They get really hot and then, it's not smart to necessarily put the titles on them right at that moment. but
Yeah.
you slap them directly into the title picture, and ultimately it leads to their downfall and their demise. It was the same thing with the Acclaimed.
That's 100% true.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'll take the Hurt Syndicate here.
You know, the sad thing is the tag team division in AEW, for how many great tag teams they've had forever, I cannot believe like it's not become a big thing. I don't know. And honestly, I wouldn't mind the Hurt Syndicate winning without a debut, and then maybe the Young Bucks return.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. The Young Bucks are really needed right now.
It's just gonna be really interesting if the Young Bucks come back. Are they baby faces? Are they heels? What happens with them and Okada and the Elite and Jack Perry, that kind of thing? Because we don't got any explanations for that. Which maybe AEW will just try to make us forget about that, but they shouldn't, because that was supposed to be their major storyline.
Right.
Next match, we have Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe. Another easy prediction.
Mercedes,
yeah.
It's a very simple one. She's not on weekly television. The silence is so loud.
You have so many talented women signed to your company, and you can't manage to put up a single program with as much beef and layers to it like you did with Mariah May and Toni Storm, but you can't do that for Mercedes. How?
Yeah.
I know Momo Watanabe is a great wrestler. This will probably be a great match. I get that. I'm not. Why do I care?
That's what I said. It's going to be a great match.
But why do I care? I don't.
Right.
I am not invested in Mercedes and AEW. Shocking, because I'm such a massive fan of her, bro.
Well, like I said, the other day, I think this is like, I know they're going to struggle here, but they got to get Mercedes back on track after this. This is like it's after this, you have to do something. If not, then in my eyes, yes, it is 1000% a flop. Honestly,
it would be perfect for, you want to create a star type of situation. Maybe you have Mercedes win this match, and then you have Megan Bain or Camille attack her.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But there's no investment for me here. I know that's going to bother a lot of the hardcore fans, but
the sickos.
But dude, I can't be invested in this, and it sucks because I'm a huge fan of Mercedes. I think she is arguably the best women's performer in the business.
For sure.
And the fact that there's not a massive feud for her going into this pay-per-view is just crazy.
Right.
Absolutely crazy. And so that's where I get disappointed with AEW, because it's like, man, you got the roster. You have the pieces on the roster to do it, and Tony Khan wants to take a lot of pride in the fact that he's been hands-on with creative a lot more. Sure, that's great. But at the same time too, man, how are you going to be so in the weeds with creative and then you're not building that massive feud for Mercedes? This is the thing, man. You have an opportunity to give us something crazy here. Yeah. And instead, this is Tony Khan playing with his toys and being like, all right, I'm going to pick
what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Like, dude, I don't know. Like, I don't know why, man. I just don't get it. I'm sorry. You have Deonna Purrazzo. You have Taya Valkyrie. Where's Britt Baker? Okay, why don't we put the Vendetta or whatever they're called, put them together and have them attack Mercedes after the match?
Yeah.
Something, I don't know. I'm just saying, do some sort of post-match angle that's like, okay, that's what I want to see. And build that feud up for Double or Nothing. Because the thing about Mercedes is she's holding title belts that, to me, it's just a visual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just a visual thing, but it doesn't feel important to me. So
That's fair. I don't see nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I think Mercedes is winning this thing.
Yeah. That leads us to our next match. We have Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher.
This one I'm excited for.
Yeah, this is I mean, this is like I said, there's 3 matches that could be match of the night, maybe even match of the year. MJF, Hangman Page, Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, Kanosuke versus Kenny. Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay. Billy, I'm gonna let you go off.
So this match is, if I'm being honest, this is like my match of the night. Big Will Ospreay guy here.
Yeah.
I think you could have Will Ospreay pick up the victory here, because obviously you want to do something big with Will Ospreay. I know how Tony feels about Ospreay. Again, this is one of those moments where you have to be smart with it though, and you have to make Kyle Fletcher look really good in the loss if he does lose. And it truthfully can go either way. If you want to continue Kyle Fletcher and really turn him into a star after this should be their last match, and you should move Kyle Fletcher on to something a little bit bigger than, if Kyle Fletcher is to pick up the victory. But I think that ultimately, again, you talk about the world title picture and who should be involved in it. We talk about Swerve, we talk about Hangman, we talk about all of those people. Another person that really should be involved in that world title picture as we speak currently is Will Ospreay. He is one of those guys who's really held down the company, and a lot of prop to him. He's putting on banger after banger after banger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my prediction here is that Will Ospreay wins this match. I'm excited. It is a steel cage, so it's going to be interesting how they play into that factor with the match. But
Yeah, I'm sure.
you could go either way here.
Yeah, my pick is Kyle Fletcher, and I don't believe you could go either way.
Okay.
I think it has to be Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher needs that one massive win that solidifies him as the company's rising heel. And Will Ospreay, being who he is and how Tony Khan views him, he can afford the loss.
Okay, that's fair.
I think perception is reality, and I think if Kyle Fletcher loses this one, it's not a good look for Kyle Fletcher.
That's fair.
And you can have Kyle Fletcher beat down Will Ospreay with the help of Don Callis' family climbing and getting into the cage and whatever it may be.
I think Mark Davis will play some kind of factor.
Let Kyle Fletcher win this match, have Will Ospreay move on, and get to the world championship picture another way. But it should be the end of the feud. Let Kyle Fletcher go over. And the reason why I say that is because for months I've been saying Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay should be a John Cena, Randy Orton feud for several years. So there's a lot of beef to that. Eventually they'll cross paths and that kind of thing. I know, like in the chat, some people are saying Mark Davis is going to cost Fletcher. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Mark Davis, to me, I understand that he's going to be an integral part of this story. Yeah. But after this story, I don't think Mark Davis is really of any value.
He kind of loses the value after this.
Yeah. So
yeah, I would agree.
My pick is Kyle Fletcher.
Okay, that's fair.
There is an extra prediction that I have for a surprise, though.
Oh, okay.
So I believe with the talks of Josh Alexander going to AEW, I believe the smart thing would be is to have Josh Alexander debut. And I think instead of Mark Davis being the one involved, I would actually prefer Josh Alexander leading the Don Callis family.
Oh, that'd be fire.
And Josh Alexander, because I love Josh Alexander and I think he's fine on the mic. There's obviously the connection between him and Will Ospreay because of TNA.
Right.
So it would be really cool for Josh Alexander to come in as a heel. I wouldn't mind seeing Josh Alexander debut here. So then Kyle Fletcher gets his big win, and then the feud then becomes Josh Alexander and Will Ospreay. Because I don't think for the world championship just yet, Will Ospreay is going to be inserted into that picture. And obviously Tony Khan, this would align with Tony Khan, considering if he's playing with his action figures, you take two really, really, really good wrestlers. And we saw what they can do before. So obviously this would be great. This would be a great way to bring him in. And it would be one of those debuts where now it ends up with Will Ospreay and Josh Alexander of going at it. Josh Alexander doesn't even need to lead the Don Callis family, but if you want to, storyline wise, you can use Don Callis as
the kind of middle ground to bring.
Yeah, as like
Yeah.
to bring him in.
Like you
Hey,
could
this
have
was
him
a favor.
yeah, like doing business or whatever, especially with Don Callis' past in TNA and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I wouldn't hate that.
That's kind of how I view it.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Hey, that brings us to Konosuke Takeshita and Kenny Omega.
Who you got winning?
I got Kenny Omega winning.
Yeah, me too.
And that's because I told you earlier, Okada's beating Brody King. They're gonna let Kenny Omega win the international championship. AEW All In, champion versus champion. Okada versus Omega.
That AEW wants that match real bad.
Winner takes all, and then they unify the belt.
Thank
and
you.
This is going to be an amazing match, and I love Konosuke Takeshita. I've said for years that Konosuke Takeshita should be in the AEW World Title picture because I love this guy. I'm a massive Takeshita fan.
Yeah.
I just don't see AEW doing that, but I do see them having Omega win, and Kenny versus Okada clearly at All In. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And
they made that very clear.
So now what you do is Kenny gets the international championship. He goes on a nice run with it, actually defends the belt on TV, takes it with him internationally to AAA or whatever other companies. And then in addition to that, what ends up happening is Okada should be doing the same thing. Their paths cross. All In.
Who made this guy Ango so smart? Who made you so smart? This guy knows what he's talking about or something. Yeah, no, I'm really behind that. I think ultimately Kenny should pick up the victory here after the matches that they've had and Takeshita winning and whatnot. I think now you could have Kenny pick it up here again. You make Konosuke look good.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know for a fact that Kenny and Konosuke are gonna that match is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
And overall, yeah, count me in. I'm here for it. But yeah, Kenny here.
This is gonna be such a banger match.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, they're gonna go off, and it's like that's why I said like those three matches I've listed. That's enough for me to give you $50 because I know those have been good storylines.
Yes,
those have good builds, and they can lead to some really good stuff. And those are the three matches I'm the most interested in.
Even the vignette for Konosuke and Kenny that I watched on Wednesday, dude, amazing, great stuff. I need AEW to do shit like that all the time.
I've been saying this shit for years, buddy.
Yeah, I know. For
years. Next match, we got Toni Storm versus Mariah May. AEW Women's Championship. That was quick.
Toni Storm she just won the belt back. This match does feel like a little like you didn't have to do this. Truth be told, this is one of those things that you could have left off the card.
Yeah.
Again, going back to Mercedes Moné, I think you need to figure something out with her to get her back right. You know what I mean? And I think the only way you can do that is if you have Toni win here and you do something with Mercedes and Toni following this. But we need to get away from Toni and Mariah. You need to get Mercedes back on track. This has to be it for Toni and Mariah, though.
Yes.
That's it.
I don't know why I know why they did it at Grand Slam, but
yeah.
That's why I don't care about this match.
It's hard to care about it because of, about 2 months ago we were singing a much different praise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really. You kind of know who's picking up the victory here.
Yeah, and Toni wins.
I think if you want to get like Mercedes involved at the end, that'd be really cool.
I think Mercedes versus Athena happens at All In.
Okay.
So maybe it's too early. It's March. So maybe you go a different direction. Maybe you bring Britt Baker back and she confronts Toni Storm after or something. I don't know.
That'd be cool. I wouldn't hate that.
But I don't think they do Mercedes and Toni because I think Mercedes versus Athena
is going to be the ultimate end game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hate that either.
Yeah. And that brings us to our final match, buddy. Jon Moxley versus Cope. The match you said you're excited for.
I'm excited, but you have to understand where my excitement is coming from. It's not from a place of I'm excited for the match itself. I'm excited for the end game. because I think it's gotten a lot of flack and a lot of shit
Mm-hmm.
to where ultimately I think AEW has heard everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They understand the position that they're in, and the position that they are currently in is John Moxley and Cope. I think Cope obviously picks up the victory here. I think you can have Christian cash in or whatever the case. You can have what's his name? You can have Jay White turn heel if you want to. I don't know if they'll do that right away, but you can do something with that. Ultimately costing Cope and letting Christian cash in. And then is when we kind of get into the good stuff of the potential of Swerve and Ricochet, one of those two picking up the victory and beating whoever for the world title. You have to play hot potato with the belt for a minute.
So here's how I see it going down. Ready?
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it to you simple. Not what we want, but I think what we'll actually get. Like, this is what I'm predicting will actually happen.
Okay.
Cope loses.
Okay.
John Moxley beats Cope. Wheeler Yuta gets kicked out of the group. Jay White turns heel and joins the Death Riders. The initiation will be Jay White attacking Wheeler Yuta to close Revolution.
Fuck no.
Yes. The listen, this is what I think is genuinely happening. I don't think they want the belt off Mox. I'm not telling you what I want to see. I'm telling you what I think will happen. They're going to have Jay White join the Death Riders, and he's going to attack Wheeler Yuta as part of his initiation to get in. He's going to do it with the Death Riders. Okay. Now, with that being said, what this opens up the door for is eventually Bryan Danielson, because he's not fully retired. He's part-time.
Right.
You could have Bryan Danielson and Yuta as baby faces. You could have the Death Riders, John Moxley, Jay White. That could be a story that they get into. Let's ignore that for a second. That is something they could do, but what do I think they will do? At Double or Nothing, fatal four-way match for the World Championship. And I think the reason why they do it at Double or Nothing is because John Moxley would retain, right?
Mm-hmm.
John Moxley would actually drop the belt at Double or Nothing, and that would be to Jay White. Jay White will turn on the Death Riders, killing the Death Rider storyline at Double or Nothing.
Okay.
Then that's going to lead to All In, and your World Championship match at All In is Jay White versus Swerve Strickland.
Okay. I don't hate that. I wouldn't be mad at that. If they go that route, I would not be mad at it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I don't think they go that route. I think
no Christian Cage. No.
Yeah, because you have to ask where that leaves Christian.
No cash in. Cope is losing. John Moxley is retaining the belt.
Dude, I think Tony is a huge Christian fan. You know he's something's happening with that.
Maybe he goes to cash in and Jay White stops it.
Yeah, you could do that, but that happens every single time. It's like, when are you going to get it off of him?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. I mean, if you say
you could fail the cash in, fail it.
That's it. Okay. Yeah, that would be my guess, is you have him fail the cash in.
That way you get it off of him.
Right. It's a very heel thing to happen to him failing.
I'm convinced that Tony Khan is totally on board with this John Moxley storyline, and I think that's the reason why it's not going to end yet.
Okay. It's interesting. You don't think he's over it?
No.
Okay.
If he was listening to his audience, he would have done it a long time ago.
Well, I think there's an opportunity to do it now.
So, Double or Nothing, Hangman Page, MJF, John Moxley, and Swerve.
Yeah.
You know, or something like that.
Yep.
Or you could do a triple threat match or something like that.
That's what I think. Yep.
And then when John Moxley drops the belt, it's not because he got pinned.
And you protect John there.
I wouldn't do it that way personally, but I think that's how they'll do it. Because Tony Khan is very, very keen on protecting people.
He is. And, you know, I don't know. My guess is Revolution's always been one of their bigger pay-per-views. I feel like now is a good time to finish this off.
Yeah, but do people really want to see a Copeland title reign? or a Christian title reign, bro. We got Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, Kanasuke Takeshita. We got many more killers in this company right now who could be a better world champion.
This is true. I agree. Something has to happen though, and it needs to make sense. That's for sure.
If they're smart, you end the show with a fucking banger.
Yeah, the show has to end with a bang.
Something big to end the show and get people talking.
Yeah,
you know,
you need some good press coming out of this.
But I do like the idea of Bryan Danielson being a babyface with Wheeler Yuta and then Double or Nothing. Like,
so do you think you have Bryan Danielson show up?
I would be all for it.
Yeah, I would be too. That would get people talking for a moment there too.
You know, if you do have Jon Moxley drop the belt because of Bryan Danielson, then you have Moxley and somebody tag teaming against Bryan and Yuta at Double or Nothing, and then the world championship is away from the Death Riders. You can go that route too.
Yeah.
But I just don't have the confidence. Making an actual prediction, I don't have the confidence in Tony Khan to take the belt off Jon Moxley yet.
Okay. That's fair. I'm not going to argue that.
Cool. I think that's it, man. I don't really see what else there is to talk about.
No, I don't think there's much.
So, guys, today's stream is a little bit shorter. Those are the predictions.
Yep.
Let me know your guys' predictions in the comments. Shout out to everybody who showed up. And we'll be back Monday. Sunday, we'll do a Revolution post show.
We'll do a post show.
I'm sure we'll be live at 2 a.m. once AEW gets off the air because, you know, those AEW pay-per-views be going on forever.
Oh, but, my birthday's on Monday, too.
Yeah, Billy's birthday's on Monday. That's right.
So we're gonna do a live stream, and then Monday we have an important Raw. Very, very important Raw inside of Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. Crazy.
Get people excited for Monday. Monday's gonna be a lot of fun. Tonight's gonna be fun too. SmackDown will be on. Cody Rhodes is gonna be there.
Yeah, we'll see what they got planned for us. I don't know. 3 hour SmackDowns. Ugh.
Yeah, they're a little rough, but I think now
it's like we're waking up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
We'll see what they got planned for us. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Ango Show. Go ahead, follow Billy at BillyTKO and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.